Hello. Hello. Did you have a good time? Should we take this off? Out. Good boy. Hello, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. I'm having a hard time, initiating things today. Windsor and I just got back from a walk, and we stopped by, a little free library. I found a cookbook, which looks kind of cute, and a book that I'm not going to share because I'm going to send it to a friend. And, a travel book about Italy. Just because. In order to just, start doing a couple of things, I might do the puzzle advent calendar earlier in the day, while it's still light out, and might do the Lego advent calendar now, just as a way to maybe, get myself moving toward things rather than, moving away from things or avoiding things. So, I also brought up the bins that I emptied the other day when I was organizing and clearing up in the guest room. Setting some intention and getting myself in motion for task completion right now. I'm doing this as a way to reconnect with myself. I have felt so distant from me, throughout the month of November. And even in the end of October when I stopped filming for Vlogtober, I find it so difficult to remain in touch with myself. I think more so now it feels like a way to sit down, touch base with myself, and it almost serves as a sort of body double. And I said that at the beginning, and I think I thought it was weird and I didn't believe it, but it is so true. Last night I really wanted to put my clothes away, but in the past, sometimes if I'm really tired, I would choose, you know what, I'm just gonna neatly put these aside and I can deal with them in the future. But then it becomes a non-problem because it's not standing in the way of me going to bed. It's not standing in the way of me using those clothes because I still can, and I can keep them neat, but they just exist in this state of nowhere. They don't belong anywhere. So by setting up a time lapse and utilizing it for a vlog purpose, I can sort of I can cooperate with my brain by knowing that it's for something. It's for me, ultimately. All of this is for my benefit primarily. Otherwise, I don't think I would have the energy to continue doing it. But yeah, so when you're watching things like that, just know that that's absolutely the purpose that it serves. By watching my videos, you are also serving as a body double so that I can go through and do these tasks that are really important to me and I find so incredibly difficult to do. With that, let's open up some Lego. So we're looking, Ariel fell over. All right, we're looking for day number 4, and it's up here at the top. What is this? It kind of looks like a sea arch. I'll show you what it looks like. My prediction sort of remains true that we're maybe building a little beach scene and then heading in toward the castle. All right, and this is what we have. Little Ariel, this new pillar thing, and then Moana here with the palm tree. We're gonna have quite the display of Lego characters by the end of the month. Et voila! Little gingerbread people and a peppermint hot chocolate. Super, super cute. Advent calendars were really, really fun to do. I think that it is getting my energy moving in the right direction. I think something that I want to do to show appreciation to myself and to my interests is to share a little bit of things that I'm just seeing as I'm moving around the room doing things. I think this could definitely be deemed a form of pebbling, just dropping little bits and pieces of things that I like throughout. That might be the type of day that it is, just kind of very higgledy-piggledy all over the place. I'm finding myself doing a bunch of things because my phone is charging, so I cleared out the chair that's in the den because I haven't been able to sit in it for a few days. It's been holding books and stuffed animals and just things. But I recently went through our bookshelf in our bedroom and brought in a few books that I'm interested to read over the winter, so they're kind of in my line of sight. This is one of them. I didn't know there was a sequel to it. Whoa. Okay, I have not read this book, but I've heard really, really good things about it. It's The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine R. Again, I have not read it, but I've heard amazing things. Let's just read a little bit of the back. Oh my gosh, okay. I think this is probably why I was so convinced that I wanted to read this, because one of my other favorite authors, I'm assuming this person might become a favorite author. I have a feeling. But Naomi Novik, the writer of Uprooted and Spinning Silver. I've read Spinning Silver, but not Uprooted. This is a review from Naomi. A beautiful, deep winter story full of magic and monsters and the sharp edges of growing up. I really, really like coming-of-age stories. I just think that there are a lot of opportunities for super characterful moments within the story. Utterly bewitching. An immersive, earthy story of folk magic, faith, and hubris peopled with vivid, dynamic characters, which is exactly what I was hoping for. I think this might be the next book that I read. Very excited about it. I really enjoy reading stories that are predominantly set in winter. I think that it lets the story become experiential in my own life, because of course I have not lived in the Russian wilderness surrounded by folk magic, but if I read it during the winter, there is one less barrier to me imagining an immersion into the story. I don't know, that's something that I really like to do, which is kind of tricky when a lot of things that I read are on Libby, because then I'm very much at the whim of when the book is available. Very, very excited to read this book and to read a few other like winter-based books that I either reread most winters or haven't in a few winters, and I'm excited to again. So Jocelyn, if you are watching this, this is the book that I was mentioning, Let It Snow. There are 3 perspectives and they're written by 3 authors. John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. It does actually exist as a Netflix original, potentially. I don't think I've seen the show. I have read this multiple times. If you are looking for like a really, really easy to read winter book, I've read this multiple times and I'm not disappointed by it. It's very adventure-y, there are quirky characters, and it happens in the middle of a snowstorm. I think that this is one of those ones that just, it makes me see the world with multicolored twinkly lights and just like the hush of a snowstorm. If you could jump into this book, that is, I think, what you would find. Yeah, I think so. These are 2 wintry books that I'm very excited to read. What winter books do you find yourself gravitating toward, or are you the type of person that cannot reread something or rewatch something? It's a valid experience. It's not one that I share, but I can understand that some people are maybe like, well, I know how it ends. I predict how things end way too often for that to be a criteria if I'm going to continue reading or watching it. My pattern recognition picks things up and I predict a lot of endings, but that doesn't mean that I don't like the process of getting there. And I think that's what I really, really like about this book specifically, because it takes you throughout the entire process, start to finish, of snowstorm. If you've ever lived in a place where it snows insane amounts, you can attest to the fact that sometimes really weird stuff like happens in the middle of a snowstorm. And this one, I just think that there's something inherently magical about winter. So a story with folk magic, beauty, and awe, it's just going to exist in a winter forest. So very, very excited to see what happens with this one. Every so often we like put some of Windsor's toys in a drawer to give him a break. Again, every so often we open the drawer and let him choose a toy, and he chose his piggy. Little Windsor with his pig. What a sweetie. Is your piggy your favorite? Chicken is cut. It's so hot. It's so steamy, Windsor. This is a very easy way to have a green bowl at home, and I do it quite often. I just thought I would record my reaction to Spotify Wrapped. We'll see what it says. Ooh. Oh my gosh, okay, this makes a lot of sense, but my top song was I Look in People's Windows by Taylor Swift, and I was in the top 0.05% listeners to that song in the world. Oh my god. That makes a lot of sense. I friggin' love that song. Cool. Good. Man, I'm just gonna be so honest. The anthology got me through this year. This year was incredibly hard for me. This makes sense. My top 5 songs are I Look in People's Windows. Number 2, I Hate It Here. Number 3, The Black Dog. Number 4, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. And number 5, The Boulder. Yeah, wow. Wow. Taylor Swift was my top artist of the year. Spent 6,166 minutes together. Love it. Wow, okay. So my top artist, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Taylor Swift is my top artist. But then we've got Chapel Roan, number 2. And then Macy Peters and Gracie Abrams. So
thank you so much for being one of my top listeners on Spotify. That's so nice of you. We went all over the world. We went to Europe, Australia, Asia. Thank you for streaming the music. It's just been such a wild ride, and I really appreciate everything you guys have done, including listening to my music so much. So cool.
Thank you, Taylor. I think it's actually kind of hilarious that my top 5 songs are from the same album. I mainlined that album this year. No question. It has come to my attention that I may have said pizza 25 times. So to that, I say the pizza that we had for dinner tonight was delicious. Yeah, it was just the one that we always have. It is like snowing sideways outside. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see, but I'm gonna show you the snowstorm, at least what I can. So somehow we made it out here in like the brief moment of time when it's not actively snowing, which is a slight bummer because it looked really cool. Let's cross Windsor.
It's squeaky like cheese curds.
It is squeaky like cheese curds, yeah. Miracle on King Street pop-up bar that takes place in Lucille's. So I think this is a location in Milwaukee, potentially. Completely deck out the entire inside of the restaurant, and you'll see it's just like decorations everywhere. Multiple trees. There was a rainbow tree, a pink tree. Up on a window there was just like hundreds and hundreds of bows. So much tinsel, so many lights. It was just like so pretty. I think like Thomas and I might go back before it closes for like a date night or something. It was so cozy and so cute though. So enjoy some little clips of that. I am gonna end the video here. Okay, I was getting sort of dud questions, so I opened a new tab and I save my tabs. I keep them like treasures. But yes, new tab, new question. I feel like this one's pretty good. When was the last time you changed your opinion about something major? It's weird because I was just journaling about this earlier. Sometimes when I'm just having a thought, I write it down because it's helpful to like be able to think it and extract it and put it somewhere rather than think it, leave it there, think it again in 10 minutes, leave it there, think it again in 25 minutes. It's just like, it's exhausting sometimes, the way that my brain processes things. So, I was journaling earlier, and I was journaling about the way that I love myself. And the last time that I changed my opinion about something major was how I feel about myself. I felt really, really bad about myself at the end of November. I was really struggling to see myself positively, like at all. It's something that happens to me sometimes, and I usually find like some way to move through it. And weirdly enough, recording myself is the way that I was able to help myself move through it. And like the reflection that I journaled is that through spending time with myself, I was able to love myself more, and realizing that spending time with me is a way that other people are also able to love me. So it makes a lot of sense that I would also need to spend time with me, and just by spending time with myself, I'm able to love myself more. When was the last time that you changed your opinion about something like really big in your personal philosophy, or in terms of like social structures, or just like some big thing that just like clicked differently in your head? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow. Good night.